This is Hannibal. I haven't done one of my burger reviews for a while. And as I was driving from the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame Museum back to the hotel here before I go to the Dynasty Pro Wrestling event tonight, I passed by a Mr. Sub, which I didn't really want to go to, and a burger place called Frank's New York that I thought I would try. The person working there, if she sees this, was very nice. Um, these are double quarter pounder burgers. I'm going to eat two of them. They're put together pretty nice. Hand cooked right in front of me. Oh, and what I like in Canada, they don't give you the option of rare. As you guys know by the name of Hannibal, I like the taste of blood. So you get that option here, which is great. These are very good. The weather here, even though it's only like 5.5 hours from where I live, the weather's warmer. There seems to be some very good parts of this town and some kind of shady parts from what I've seen so far. Quite a mix depending on what areas you drive through. Apparently Dan Severin is here. He's gonna be having a thumb wrestling match tonight on the event against Seth Turner, the president of the International Wrestling Hall of Fame. And they say it's going to be a shoot thumb wrestling match. So I'm going to be recording that. Tony Atlas is going to be on the show, apparently. They don't know if he's wrestling or not. They don't know what he's doing. But he's driving here from Maine, and he's on here, apparently. I'll be doing a shoot interview with Tony either tonight or tomorrow morning. The bun itself is fresh. I haven't even looked at the wrestling news today. You know, I almost hit 2 deer on the way here. The GPS took me on some way far off the main highways. At one point, it was almost one lane, and the roads were covered in leaves. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know why the GPSs take you on these. It just doesn't make any sense unless it's really cutting off huge time. Why you'd be going down one lane roads in rural communities at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, I still haven't slept. I left my house at 2 a.m. Hello, sir. Honk honk sport. I was listening to the Wrestling Observer radio on the way down here. And apparently for the collision in Toledo last week, they false advertised a lot of wrestlers again. As in the wrestlers that were advertised locally in the markets. I don't care if I'm talking through my mouth, by the way. I'm far too tired to care about that. They do this almost every time. They advertise wrestlers on the local promotion, and then in one case, like none of them showed up. But in most cases, it's like half or more than half. And I do agree. I don't agree with Dave Meltzer on everything. but I do agree with part of the reason why AEW is hitting these record lows and why they're doing sloppy stuff like that. With, by the way, all their contracts are being paid. Their guys are being paid so much. Why aren't they using all the big stars on all the shows to try and get more viewers? Apparently, Okada still lives in Japan, and is rumored he's making as much as $4 million a year. I hope to God it's worth it for whatever they get out of that from Japan, because it's not like he's getting over like Stone Cold Steve Austin in the U.S. and Canada. Apparently, they had a horribly low rating in Canada this week, and it was on at its regular time in Canada. So people are just tuning out. But one of the reasons Meltzer was saying, and I agree with him on this, I've said it before myself, one down, one to go, is that Tony Khan has way too many jobs. He wears so many hats in AEW alone, and he still has jobs with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the soccer league. I don't know, guys. I don't like soccer. I somewhat follow football a little bit. Are any of those teams winning any championships? Maybe if you just focus on one thing and do one thing really well instead of spreading yourself thin. I'm not saying that they're not making money. I mean, AEW has not made money yet. Supposedly in the next 3 years, the chances of it making money are better. I would never say anything's 100% until you see the bottom of the line at the end of the year. But chances are they have a better chance of making money next year. It seems like everyone's locking up each other's wrestlers too. Like there's not going to be a lot jumping back and forth. I don't even know who Daniel Garcia is because from the pictures and matches I've seen of him, he just blends in as your average looking AEW guy. But the name of the buzz that he might go to WWE, apparently they've signed him back in AEW. And at the same time, they signed Jake the Snake in AEW. He's back. I mean, he was re-signed anyways. He just wasn't doing anything. Now they're reusing him as a manager. And then on WWE's side, they re-signed Rhea Ripley. And they signed DDP and Jesse Ventura. So everybody's locking everybody up. Oh, by the way, this was only $17. If you watch the video where I ate 3 Dave's triples, the 3 Dave's triples, I would say, is about the same meat as 2 of these. And it was $17 compared to $36, I think it was, for 3 Dave's triples in Canada. Canada is more expensive to begin with. It's very expensive. Thank you for everyone that's posted questions so far for Don Morocco. There's a ton of them. I hope for that to be a very long and detailed interview. He seems like a very nice guy. If anyone hasn't heard how Don Morocco supposedly got fired, which I don't think he's denied, but many people have said it, is when they went to check his piss on one of these piss tests, he was burnt out and he pissed on Nick Bockwinkel's face, who Nick Bockwinkel was an agent at the time, and he called Bockwinkel a pecker checker. I know he was friends with Dynamite and Davey. I'd like to hear his side of the whole Rougeau controversy. By the way, Dan Severin, who we'll probably encounter tonight, he can eat a lot of hamburgers too. Very good. I don't know if anyone else that uses StreamYard has issues streaming on Facebook. I just added Facebook to this, but a lot of the time you can't start on Facebook. So if you're tuning in on Facebook now, go on the Hannibal TV YouTube and watch the start of this. If you want to see the start of these delicious burgers, I don't know if this is a chain of various ones in New York or if it's just one place in Albany or if they have several, but they're good. Fattening as this is, I'm drinking zero Gatorade. Maybe it evens out. I've been doing a lot of walking today, so. I finally got my laptop back. I didn't even have it a month and the screen cracked. Then they took it for 3 weeks. Where are you ordering a screen part in 2024 where it takes 3 weeks? Well, there we go. Very good. I finished them. 12 minutes while I was talking. That was no record. But you know what? If I consider myself a burger critique, that helps me write off my burgers. And I am a very good burger critique. Extremely good. I've had them everywhere. All around the world. England overall, by the way, doesn't have very good hamburgers. And they look at you like you have 3 heads. If you say, can you add an extra patty to that? Can you add an extra 2 patties to that? Can you add an extra 3 patties to that? They'll say, what are you talking about? They just don't understand. People like go to England and order a double Big Mac and see what kind of looks you get. And by the way, they charge the same price for a double Big Mac in England that a single Big Mac is here. I thought when they were paying me £60 a night, travel and housing included, wrestling 7 or 8 times a week, I'd actually make a good amount of money, but the food there is incredibly expensive. But I did have fun overall, other than I could have been treated better in some ways. But I had a lot of fun in other ways. I don't know how I got onto that topic. Oh, yes. Not a good place for burgers from the ones I've tried so far. But maybe it's just the areas where I tried them. I'm sure I'll be back in England sooner or later. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I'm going to be heading back out on the road in a couple minutes.